everyone! We are from the group 2. We were tasked to modify an indoor recreational activity, and the game that we came up with is a modification of the snakes and ladders. Our game is inspired by the rock cycle processes, thus the name of the game, Rocks and Weather. Materials and equipment. The materials and equipment that we need is first, a printout of the Rocks and Weather tabletop game. Next, we need a die, and lastly, we need an avatar. An avatar is preferably a pebble or any small object that you can find around your house. Required players. The minimum number of players required is at least 2 or more, and kids from ages 9 and above can play this game. Mechanics of the game. Each player will place their avatar on the area that says Start. The players will take turns to roll the die, and they will move their avatars forward according to the number that shows on the die. If the avatar lands on an event arrow, the player must follow where the arrow leads to, and the first player who reaches the end will win the game. Player's ability. Die roll. Roll a die to move an avatar. Backtrack. Players are given 2 chances to backtrack for a die roll number of tiles. Notable elements. First, the event tiles. Event tiles are characterized by its single-colored glowing borders. It is accompanied by a text and an event arrow. Next, event arrows. Event arrows direct a player's avatar to its new tile location. Lastly, equilibrium zone. Player's avatar that land the equilibrium zone gets to roll the dice again and reposition their avatars based on the die roll. Our game, Rocks and Weather, is inspired by the rock cycle, which is early taught to grade 4 students. The event tiles are strategically placed to its corresponding location in the landform shown in the background, instead of a random placement like in Snakes and Ladders. For example, the event tile is placed at the top because temperature tends to lower with increasing altitude. This game will encourage students to learn more about rock cycle and earth science in general, while having fun defeating enemies in a less randomized way than in Snakes and Ladders. Now let's go to the demonstration of the game.
Like Snakes and Ladders, Rocks and Weather starts with the first die roll. Players roll a die and move their avatars in the corresponding number as shown in the die. Here, player yellow is entering the Thaw event tile and must move his avatar as to where the arrow is pointing. Blue entering the Rain event tile, whereas yellow is entering the Erosion event tile. We can see here that yellow is entering the equilibrium zone. Player yellow still has the ability to roll the die, and its placement is determined by the die roll. In this case, it is in position 5. Yellow is having a huge lead. Yellow entering the Burial event tile. Here we can see that the equilibrium zone is actually not all good. Oh, player yellow has rolled number 1. Now he is back to square 1. In this part, player blue is using his backtrack ability to try and enter the equilibrium zone. However, no luck for him, and he only entered a regular tile. As you can probably observe by now, Rocks and Weather is a challenging game. That doesn't mean that you are the first or the leading player that you are secured of victory. Now, congrats to player blue for winning this game.
And that would be all. Happy playing!